The Battle of the Aarons. Break. Ryan, I don't know if you're just trying to suck up to me here, but I think, that Jets jersey is giving me more hope, more belief, more faith, more fingers crossed. Please don't do this on opening week, football gods. You already took away AVT because, that's what happens to us. Let's get an Aaron Glenn W. Opening day. First time as a Jets head coach after being one of the more beloved players in Jets history. There's not many. There's few and far between. I believe the odds makers have the Steelers at a 2.5 right now.
Yep,
right?
2.5 point favorites.
And it will, I think the last time I checked, it's going to be 48% Steelers fans. And, I'll give them credit. They show out, and it's just a drive down the road for them. So it's going to be a split crowd. It's going to be a crazy crowd. I believe the Aaron on the Pittsburgh side of the sidelines is going to show up with a different reception to MetLife Stadium. I do believe the atmosphere is going to be electric. It won't be like opening night, Monday night, a couple years ago, whatever it is now. This is going to be an ugly game. This is going to be a game that has more hype than it probably deserves, because we're talking about a 42-year-old quarterback who's probably on his last leg. Sorry, Steelers Nation. I don't think, and this is not just wearing the Jets goggles here, I don't think it's going to be a vintage Aaron Rodgers MVP, like stick it to the Jets, and just speaking with my head and heart here. I watched enough of him last year to think he's not what he once was, and that's probably the understatement of the year. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to move in the pocket. I think the Jets are going to dial up some heat. I think Aaron Glenn is going to send the pressure. I think we're due for a couple sacks on Mr. Rodgers. I do believe that the defense is going to be able to get in his face a lot. Quentin Williams is going to forget how nice Aaron Rodgers was to him the last couple of years. And I think we're going to see that sack dance at least once or twice. I think Will McDonald's due for a big game. I don't think there's anyone up and down wherever they line up McDonald on the Steelers offensive line that's going to stop him. Jermaine Johnson, I know he's coming off the injury. I think he's still a player to be reckoned with. I think he's got that dog in him. I think he's looked better than people are giving him credit for in training camp. I know it's training camp. Don't kill me, Steelers Nation. I know. It's a lot of it's in shorts. I got the Steelers scoring 14 or under this game, right? And before you kill me on that, I don't know if you are. Before the comments kill me on that, I got the Jets only scoring 17 points this game.
Okay.
So I don't got like this crazy blowout, but I got the Jets scoring 17 points. I got old friend Folk Hero kicking the game winner. How about that?
Hey, that'd be nice.
Okay, so let me set this up for you. I got Breece Hall in the slot more than 50% of this game. I got Braylon out in the backfield as the starting running back, RB1. I got Garrett Wilson with a touchdown. And I'm only going with 60 yards, which probably people are going to probably kill me for that too, because I heard my quarterback can't throw.
Especially me.
Yeah, okay. And I was just going to say, coming from a guy who, was told his quarterback couldn't throw when he was drafted, although he proved to leave wrong a lot faster. We'll go there, though. I'm not calling Justin Fields Lamar Jackson before people kill me on that either. I got Garrett Wilson with a touchdown, looking over at the sideline, the opposing sideline when he does score it. We can kind of guess who we'll be staring at. I think there's a lot more underlying beef there than people are letting on to. I got Braylon Allen with a touchdown. I got the Jets defense holding Mr. Rodgers to one throwing touchdown. I think the Steelers will be able to. I think the Steelers and Rodgers and Metcalf will cook up at least one goal line touchdown. It'll be on my guy Ahmad. We can talk about that another day. It'll be on my guy Ahmad. I got TJ Watt, wreaking a bit of havoc this game. He's still TJ Watt. I'm going to respect that. Cam Hayward, I respect you, sir. The Steelers owe you your money. Take the day off. I think it's official. Has that been confirmed yet, Ryan? I know.
I know he's still complaining about it.
Okay, no, but I am on the Cam Hayward side of that, man. Like, sit it out. You get your money. Sit home with your family this Sunday. Enjoy football like the rest of us. I think the Jets are going to commit to the run. Worst kept secret in the league. But I think the O-line, even down AVT, is going to be able to run the ball, Splash. I believe Josh Myers and Joe Tippmann, however Aaron Glenn wants to, work that. And I think Tippmann will be the open day center. I think this whole Josh Myers hype is way overblown. I think Tippmann is a starting center. I think your right guard is maybe Myers, the little wrinkle. I think John Simpson will be fine. I think he'll be good to go. I think that he's officially good to go. I think the Jets' offensive line is going to have a good opening debut. I think they're going to rush for over 100 yards. I think Fields has over 50 yards rushing. Braylon Allen shows he's a man in this league, has over 60 yards rushing, scoring touchdown. I think Watt gets to Fields once, knock on wood. I got to get TJ Watt. I'm going to give him a sack. I'm going to give him a sack this game.
Sure.
Hopefully that's all he has, a sack this game. And Garrett Wilson has a good game. The Jets' defense, it will be the star of the show, though. I think they're going to sack Rodgers 3+. 3+ on that, 3+, at least 3. I got McDonald with a sack. I got Quinn Williams with a sack. Hell, I got Jermaine Johnson with the sack. There's my 3 sacks.
Okay, and, he's going crazy over here. I see you.
And my boy Ahmad gets 1 pick this game.
This is genuinely breaking news here.
And Rodgers has, that Jets-esque game where we were holding on to hope that maybe he could, be something for us this year. Thank God that storyline dies after this week. Thank God. Rodgers has 220, a pick, a touchdown, and he's sacked 3+ times. I'll leave it to you, Ryan. And I'll be doing your team a favor, putting you guys solely in first place after this week, unless you think otherwise about this game.
Well, unfortunately, the Browns and Bengals play, so the Ravens,
barring
a tie, can't be first alone. Not to pour cold water, I do have Pittsburgh winning. My sort of bet is the Jets will be up at halftime or might be tied at halftime, and the Steelers win it in the second half. Losing AVT, that is a loss. I know you bring in Myers, and like you said, Myers or Tippmann, center and right guard.
Trying to hide the pain with the glasses by the way, on that one. That's why I wore sunglasses.
The offensive line's really good. I'm not going to front there. Pittsburgh's defensive line is a force to be reckoned with. Of course, you have Watt, you have Highsmith, you have Keanu Benton, you have their first-round pick, Derek Harmon, you have Cam Hayward. If he plays, that's up in the air at this point. You have Big, who
get your money.
Yeah, who might be like a top 20 pass rusher in the NFL. Like, he's not a great run defender, but he might be a top 20 pass rusher. And the back 7, Joey Porter, he's good. He's a solid like CB2 option. Jalen Ramsey in the star role this season, that should be exciting to see. Darius Slay, old man Slay, can he still play? I don't know. No Minka, he is down in Miami, so I don't know how successful the Jets will be offensively. But one underrated aspect, I would say, the last time we saw the Steelers, they let the Ravens run for 299 yards on them in the playoff game. I say that to say this. The Steelers are a self-respecting franchise. They spent the entire offseason, all 8 months, saying, we are not going to let that happen again. Now, they don't happen to play Baltimore this week. They do play the Jets. They are familiar with Justin Fields. This is a case of Pittsburgh is going to come in and attempt to clamp down the run. I think the Jets are talented enough to make some of it work. Like, this isn't going to be like the Jerome Bettis 5 carries for 3 yards game, right? Or a Barry Sanders game.
The bus.
Yeah, this is going to be a game that I think the Jets can get theirs at times with Braylon and Brees and Justin, but I do think Pittsburgh ends up pulling it out at the end, like 17-14, 20-17 type game. I think Rodgers proves to be the better quarterback, and maybe not an upgrade for Pittsburgh, but certainly a downgrade for the Jets. And I think Metcalf gets free on Brandon Stevens once or twice for not a move ball, but one of those timing routes, like a 20-yard comeback or something to move the chains on a 3rd and 8. I'm excited to see Caleb Johnson, the running back built in Arthur Smith's image. I'm excited to see Jonnu Smith. He's back with Arthur Smith. Love to see that. Pat Fryer move. Darnell Washington, the 6th offensive lineman, essentially at tight end. So I do think Pittsburgh wins. I do have them covering 2.5, but not by much. Like if I could get a prop bet that says Steelers win by exactly 3, I would probably take that and hopefully walk my way to the bank. So those are my thoughts.
Underrated aspect of this game that I think not a lot of people are talking about as well, and I forgot to mention as well, Harrison Phillips. Harrison Phillips is still a very, very, very good player, you know, and good on the new regime, Mooj, you know, being proactive, knowing that, you know, the Jets couldn't stop the run last year, and they weren't planning on stopping the run this year with no one next to Quinn Williams that, you know, is going to be on NFL roster probably by midseason. Maybe a practice squad. So the addition of Harrison Phillips and the combination, I think, because, you know, we're talking about D-line here, you know, do they really need that much time to gel, like, let's say, a new O-line or, you know, a quarterback and receiver connection? So you got, I think, Harrison Phillips and Quinn Williams, that combination, if healthy, because, you know, football gods got their pound of flesh from the Jets already, because it wouldn't be a Jets opening. You know, can we not get a season where, you know, a major player gets hurt either opening night, training camp, or on the first, you know, few plays of a game or the first few games? But I digress. I think Harrison Phillips, I don't think Pittsburgh is want to kind of, you know, come in and run the ball. Mike Tomlin is no idiot. He knows he has a 42-year-old quarterback. And talking about self-respecting franchise, spend the whole offseason begging Aaron Rodgers to play quarterback for you, because the quarterback that you actually wanted to keep riding, you know, I know Fields has question marks, probably understatement of this whole stream here. He has major question marks. Pittsburgh still wanted to keep him. I believe there's, you know, the way Tomlin answered that question, there was some, did I say jittered X or jolted X feelings there, where, you know, she left for the Jets. I think Pittsburgh is going to try to run, and they're not going to be able to run. And I think Rodgers is old, slow, and his MetLife Stadium entrance is going to be better than his first, but not the exit.